Hello there. Thank you for attending today's executive webinar session at AnyWare Apps by Kerr Consulting. AnyWare Apps are modern and AI-powered enterprise software products for digital business transformation. To learn more about AnyWare Apps by Kerr Consulting, please visit www.anywareapps.com or www.kerrconsulting.com. Now, let's get started today's executive webinar session. I would like to introduce Kevin DeVecchi from AnyWare Apps. Kevin, would you like to take it from here? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for introductions. This is Kevin DeVecchi from AnyWare Apps, and I'm excited to join you today for today's live executive webinar session. Today, we'll talk about introductions to AS9100 management system for aerospace industry, followed by introductions to quality assurance anywhere, quality and compliance management software platform. We'll be talking about aerospace, manufacturing industry, being this month is a National Manufacturing Month in the US, and we are excited to support American manufacturing in the US. Manufacturing industry is the backbone of American economy, having millions of employees working for the industry, generating trillions of dollars of revenue for the American economy, and there are more than 200,000 American manufacturers in the country. Having said that, today we'll be talking about aerospace industry and how to comply AS9100 in a digital environment. Talk about AS9100 and aerospace industry. I'd like to invite Alex Kvartirov from Kerr Consulting. He is the president of the company, and today we'll learn about fundamentals of AS9100 for aerospace manufacturing industry from Alex. Alex, if you're ready, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Kevin, for inviting me to make this presentation. Today, we're going to focus on the AS9100 quality standard, and I'll explain in my presentation a little more detail what this is all about. But before I start, I would like to just have a very brief introduction about my company, AnyWare Consulting. And I'm the sole proprietor of AnyWare Consulting. And I'm also a certified ISO 9001 lead auditor. I've established my company back in 2015 after a lengthy career as a project manager in a large aerospace company, which is certified to the AS9100 quality standard. So what I currently do is I provide consulting services and training for various businesses to help them achieve and also maintain ISO certification. I'm a business partner with American Workflows Enterprise software company, and I support the application of its tools and provide assistance to businesses in applying those tools in the ISO environment. And obviously, American Workflows has a lot of good software tools that really help you out in dealing with all of the information and data associated with the ISO environment. And I also provide webinars and lectures on various ISO topics. Okay, so what is the AS9100 standard? Okay, the latest version is the version D, AS9100D, and it's was released by the International Aerospace Quality Group back in 2016. And this group is actually an international nonprofit organization established under the Belgian law with offices registered in Brussels. But it consists of aerospace and defense industry, and there are three sectors: Americas, Asia Pacific, and Europe. Now, the AS9100 quality management system applies to aviation, space, and defense organizations. So if you're involved in any one of those three businesses, you really should be thinking about getting the AS9100 certification. Now, the latest version, which is the D version, is really based on the ISO 9001-2015 and also other industry-specific standards. So all of the ISO standards really reflect, the structure reflects ISO 9001, but each one has its specific additional requirements addressed for the environment and for the type of business it supports. Now, if you look at AS9100, the main document is 9100. However, there are additional requirements for different businesses that support also aviation. For example, 9110 is a requirement for aviation maintenance organizations. And 9120 is a requirement for distributors. So if you want to be a distributor, distributes parts for aviation or the space or defense organization, then you should apply for the AS9120 standard. Now, all of them, to perform audits, all of them are under the AS9101 standard for performing audits for all of these specific requirements. Okay, let's look at what really differences or additions are imposed on the AS9100 as compared to the ISO 9001. Now, ISO 9001 involves, and I'm not going to address all of the ISO 9000 requirements today, but in effect, AS9100 takes the basic ISO 9001 requirements and then adds specific additional requirements, which are really necessary to support the type of industry that AS9100 is supporting. So let's look at some of the additional requirements. More emphasis is placed on risk management. Well, it's, I guess, self-explanatory. If you develop software for an aircraft system, then obviously risk is very important, and risk should be obviously controlled and managed, and that's the whole point. Product safety. Again, much emphasis is placed on product safety because any failure of the subsystem, let's say, that you're developing, it should not fail in a way that will force the aircraft to crash. Okay, that's the worst possible scenario. So product safety is really a big concern of AS9100. Also, it deals with special requirements, and that's based on the specific type of equipment that you're providing. So that would typically be added as part of your contract. Also, critical items, which are if your piece of equipment performs a very critical function with the aircraft, then those have to be defined and then evaluated as you are developing them. Configuration management is very important. Make sure that all of the latest documentation, not only yours, but also from the customer, is tightly controlled and maintained. On-time delivery, well, that's very important because whoever your customer is, they are counting on you to deliver, let's say, the subsystem or components on time. Counterfeit parts. Yes, this is a very important aspect of the business because there are a lot of counterfeit parts which look like the real part, but they may be coming from unapproved sources, and sometimes it's difficult to get the part that you're looking for, so counterfeit parts become available. But again, if you're building, let's say it's a safety critical system, you certainly don't want to have any counterfeit parts because they may not meet the requirement and they may fail and obviously affect the safety of the operation. And also, AS9100 requires more extensive testing for production to make sure that your system is tested adequately, and then all of the requirements are tested, and you get positive results from all the tests. Also, obviously, you will be dealing with supply chain, external providers. So you should exercise much more stringent control on your external providers because, again, you want to make sure that the either subsystems or parts that you're getting from them are of the highest quality. So those are really a very top-level summary of the additional requirements for AS9100. All right. Again, the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle that was developed by Deming a long time ago, and it's pictorially shows what the quality management system is all about. You know, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this diagram because I think it's self-explanatory. As you can see in the diagram, there are numbers in parentheses, and those numbers are the actual clauses of the ISO 9001 AS9100. The clauses are really the same, at least the clause number, they match, they're identical, and they're described on the right side of the screen. So all of the inputs into the system are in clause 4, which involves the context of the context of the organization, and also the expectations of the interested parties, and there obviously could be different parties, depends on the organization. Obviously, one interested party is your customer, so you really have to be concerned about that. But also there could be, you know, investors or organizations that are actually certifying your product. So those have to be considered, but the important one is the customer requirements. I mean, that's what drives the whole thing. And that all feeds into the planning stage, which is clause 6. So you really plan what you need, what resources you need. And once you have a plan, that feeds into support and operation. And this is where the actual operation or let's say the design and development and production of whatever you are delivering. This is where it occurs. Now, 7 and 8, 7 are the resources that you need. So it's not only your manpower that's needed to perform the design and production of your equipment, but also the equipment that you need. So that's all included in this in clauses 7 and 8. Now notice that what feeds into it is your supply chain. And this is all the material, equipment that you need to perform your support and operation phase. So it's a very important to make sure that the supply chain is controlled and managed. Because if it's not, then obviously you will never be successful in completing your operational goals. Okay. Now, once you've developed a product, obviously you're going to test it, and that's what clause 9 is all about, is evaluating your design. And obviously there will be issues, and this is where you will have to make decisions on improvements, which is clause 10. So in a way, this is an ongoing circle. You really never get out of the circle, because the heart of ISO or AS9100 is continuous improvement. And that's why you have to stay in that circle to improve your processes, your product, and as you may feel that everything is perfect, but not really, because there's always room for improvement. Notice that in the middle of that is leadership or management, and they're in control of everything. And management needs to be involved in the QMS function, because without management support, the QMS really cannot function properly. Okay, let's go on. So what are some of the benefits for being certified to AS9100? Well, you may not have a choice, because if you want to deliver a product for the aviation or space industry, you may have to have the AS9100 certification. But having it really helps you, because it does produce a safer and more reliable product. And as part of the activity, you have to meet not only your customer demands, but the regulatory requirements to ensure that your product is safe and will function properly in the final environment that it's designed for. And also, having the certification gives you a better control of your processes, because part of the certification requires you to define your processes and how all your processes interact. And this makes the development activity much more efficient and effective. Also, the quality management system helps you to integrate with your other business operations, and also it forces you to have a documentation which represents what you are designing. It's very important to maintain all of the information under control to make sure that everything is available, not only for your organization, but for periodic audits that the auditor will need to verify. I mentioned before that focusing on the supply chain is very important, because obviously you want to receive quality products from your suppliers. So, and it is your responsibility to make sure that your suppliers follow their own quality standards. Now, it's true that AS9100 requires fewer documents, but the important message here is that the focus is on the documents that are really needed to run your business. Okay, if you generate documents that are put on the shelf to collect dust, obviously they're not doing any good for you. You have to define what documents are really needed to make your business run very efficiently. And having AS9100 is recognized by all the regulatory authorities, and it's a worldwide standard. So it's a very important aspect of your business to get that certification. Okay, so what are the milestones to get certification? So first of all, you need to have a quality management system which meets the AS9100, and you have to operate the system for some time because when you actually get an audit to get the AS9100 certification, you want to make sure that you've been using it for a while, and it could be a matter of months. And because when the auditor comes, you want to show them that yes, you are very familiar and you're using the system properly. Now, the next step is obviously hiring a certification body to perform the audit. And here you really need to look for a registrar, that's the certification body, that has experience with your product line. So if you're building electronic equipment for, let's say, the aviation industry, then it would be helpful to get an auditor that is familiar with that type of equipment rather than an auditor that's familiar with, let's say, the medical field. I mean, yes, the processes are similar, but there are differences. So you want to make sure that when you question the qualifications of the auditor, that he does have experience in the product lines that you're involved in. You also need to perform an internal audit to make sure that everything runs per your quality management system and that data is collected. So internal audit, you can hire an external organization or you can do it with internal people. However, the only restriction is that people that will be doing the audit may not audit their own work. So there's have to be cross-checks in those audits. Management has to conduct formal reviews of the QMS processes, and that helps them to make effective decisions about making improvements. But again, improvements, they shouldn't be guessed as, what improvement to work on next. They should be based on information that's collected and actually reviewed at formal management meetings, and those have to take place at least once a year. Some organizations do it quarterly or even monthly, but during the year, all of the quality management aspects have to be reviewed at least once. So you have to show that for any corrective action, that the root cause of the problems are identified, and also what is the resolution and also how do you have to document the resolution so that there's traceability of actually from the correction process to resolving the problem. So you should really have a clear history of what was done. And then to get the, so once you're ready and you've gone through internal audit and management reviews, then you invite the certification body, which is called the registrar, and they will perform a two-stage audit of your organization. Stage one will focus on your documentation to make sure that you have it and it is adequate to manage your business so that it all meets the AS9100 requirement. And then if that's successful, then the registrar will come back, and typically it's a month later, and then he will actually look at all your various business groups, and he will talk to the individuals to make sure that the your quality management system is implemented based on what you defined under stage one. So stage two is a longer test, and depending on the size or the organization, but it could last a week or even more. So that's a very detailed audit, and it really affects all of your entire organization. So to maintain the certification, so once you get certified, then you have to make sure that you maintain your quality management system. It's not that you're saying, okay, I'm going to get the plaque and then I'm going to go back to my old ways. No, it doesn't work that way, because you have to make sure that what the effort that you made in implementing the QMS is maintained and is continued as long as you want to maintain the certification. So the auditor will come back at a yearly, I'm sorry, no, but first of all, you have to perform an internal audit at least yearly. And as I mentioned before, that could be done by either your internal people, or you can hire a company who can perform the audit. But it has to be done, again, very important, at a minimum at a yearly schedule. Management meetings have to be done at regular intervals. Again, the interval is up to you, but it has to be done at least yearly. But I think it's more efficient to have it either quarterly or maybe even monthly. You have to maintain all the documents to make sure that your current processes are clearly defined. And if there's a change to your processes, which does occur, then it has to be reflected in a document. So those documents have to be managed. All the records that you collect, part of the running your business, have to be maintained and kept up to date. And again, as I mentioned, the yearly review with a certification body has to be done. Otherwise, if it's not done, then you will lose your certification. So once you make a commitment to have your organization certified, then a yearly audit will be required to maintain the certification. Well, that completes my presentation. And again, thank you for your time and attention. And let me now turn it over to Kevin. Again, thank you very much.
Alex, thank you very much for your presentation. It was very insightful, and we learned a lot about the fundamentals of AS9100. As a next step in our executive session today, I'd like to invite our colleague, Batu, from AnyWare Apps. He's from our pre-sales software specialist team at AnyWare Apps, and Batu will perform the demonstration of quality assurance anywhere, how it looks, how it feels, and in the show and tell session, you'll be able to see the capabilities of quality assurance anywhere software system. Batu, if you are ready, please take over the screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Today, we are going to be talking about the quality assurance anywhere, specifically focusing on the compliance task management, compliance project management, and compliance document management. All right, so as you can see in the screen, we split it into two. On the left, we have searching for information, and on the right, we have adding information. Now, within quality assurance anywhere, we search using basically safe searches on the left, as you can see right now. Now, these searches can be configured to be as general as or as wide as you like. And then on the right side, with adding information, we work with something called safe profiles. And the safe profiles are a structure from, if you will, for us to, prompt the right information to index a document and take all that kind of key metadata that you need when a user upload a document. We can also see these safe profiles, we can call them folders as well. As you can see, we have several folders. This can be a incident management, other management folder, risk management folder, and so forth. In order to upload a document, simply we can click on, for example, I want to upload something about incident management, right? I can click on it, and I'll be choosing which form I'm going to be posting from my laptop. And once it's done, the document upload will go on the left side, which is a search profile under incident management. Now let's go one up to our existing search profiles. Let's go with escape compliance document, for example. Right? Once you click on it, as you can see, we uploaded one document. We have this document called escape compliance document. So when you click on it, we can go in more in detail. And you can also see the document on the right side after it's downloading. It's almost, here we go. So as you can see on the right, we can see the whole document in a PDF form. Scroll down a little bit. Here we go. And on the left side, we have the document information, such as we can see the document title, and we can also see the system properties. Under that, we can see who created this specific document, when is it created, we can also see the document ID, and ingested through, that means it's ingested through that safe profile, like on the right side, we call them folder. So it ingested through the SQF compliance document folder. Again, last updated by this person, and you can see the last update, and so on. Also, you can also see the attachments and versions as well. In order to see the attachments and versions for this document, that is on the bottom left here, as you can see, we have the one version of it, so you can also see the one. And if you want to see a little bit more detail, you can either add a new version from here, and you can either download this, delete this, and if you want to see information, you can click on the file info. As you can see, it's version 1 with the file ID. We can see where it's ingested, who ingested it, and so on. All right, so we are in the compliance project management. The first thing you'll see is all the tasks that are assigned to me. Under that, these are all the active ones, as you can see right here, all the active tasks that are assigned to me with their status, their task name, steps, if there's any, their project name, last activity, their due dates, created on, their priority levels, the messages, and lastly, their owners. The owners are who created this specific task. If you want to see the completed ones, we can simply switch to completed, and you'll see all your completed tasks that are assigned to me. All right, so once we click on a specific task, for example, let's go with SQF compliance document, right? As you can see, this is a task created by 8 days ago, and you can see all your participants and their decisions. As you can see, they're all pending. You also have a progress, if you from your end. So I log in as my user and I progress, let's just say 20% today. So I can simply say update. And as you can see, progress updated successfully. And on the bottom right, you can see the person who's updated the task progress to 20%. So whatever you make inside the task, you can see it under activities. So let's choose a different task. Let's go with, for example, ISO 9001, document review by department. Okay. So as you can see, 13% of this task has been completed. And again, if you want to do adjust the progress, I can adjust my progress by dragging here. Let's do 20% again. As you can see, I can do that. Or I can make a decision. As you can see, if it is completed, I can say completed and click on update, and my end will be completed. So right now it shows pending. If I hit on complete, it will show complete. Again, I was talking about activities. So under activities, you can see every detail under the activities. So as you can see the text progress, we can write messages to other participants, and so forth. We can also add attachment through here as well. As you can see, we have auto train PDF document. So as you can see, once we click on it, we can see the document in more detail, as you can see right here. We can attach as many files or documents as we want. We can attach them by the URL or files from inside the system, or we can attach it through our local computer. All right, so this is how we can review all the tasks that assigned to me. We can also manage all the tasks managed by me. So it's the same concept. You can see our status, task name, and so forth, right? So let's go click on one example one, for example. For example, let's click on this one. Again, this is a simple task. It's we're creating a user and roles for your department. So this one with steps, as you can see, we have 3 steps with all their participants and their decision. As you can see, one of them are completed and all the other 2 is pending. On the right, we have all the activities that we can see the history. And this is the first step. When all these participants shows completed, this task will automatically be moved to the step 2. And it's the same concept. Everyone will need to make their decision complete and they will go to step 3. So this is how we arrange steps inside the task. All right. So these are all the tasks managed by me. If you want to add a brand new task, right? So we have that on the top right. We can create new tasks or new projects, right? So actually, let's talk about the new project first. So if you want to create a brand new project, we can do that through here as well. In order to do that, we're going to be hitting on the new project button. Then we're going to have to hit the project name, project description. We're going to put the due date of the project, and we can also select the second in charge for the project as well, that person. After that's all done, filled, we can create the project through here. If you want to create a simple task, we can do that here as well by clicking on a new task. We're going to have to put the task name, task description, and the project. So inside the system, we have 2 ways to create a task. We can either create a task individually, which I'm doing right now, or we can create a task connected to a specific project. If you want to connect to a specific project, we can do that through here by choosing the specific project. Then, again, task name, description, the message, and once we're all done, once we create, that specific project will be connected to the specific project that we chose. All right. You can also here, you can click choose participants. We can hit on invite participants, and we can choose all the people who's going to be in this task. We can also add watchers as well. So what's watchers? Watchers are the people, I should say, they are not hands-on in the project, but they are like managing, right? Like viewers. So this can be a project manager or supervisor, admin, and so forth. So those are the watchers. Again, we have the option that attachments, and we can also manage decisions here. So I can add many decisions as I want. So I can complete, I can say add a decision called approve. As you can say, I have 2, or reject it, I can say. So this is the way we can add or manage edit decisions. On the right, we can select the due date for this task. We can also adjust priority. We have highest, medium, low, or lowest. We can also choose a second in charge person for this task, and so forth. We can also create steps through here as well by clicking on steps. then step name, step description, and due date of that current step. We can also create task forms inside a task as well. In order to do that, we can hit on the task form. We can choose which task form are we going to be choosing. For example, we have the universal customer complaint form, we have the corrective action report, we have the ISO 9001 record management, risk management, and so forth. So for example, let's go with the universal customer complaint form, right? In order to do that, we can put the customer, then the complaint. I'm just gonna say like a test, and we can do the complaint date, right? We can choose the date of the complaint, then we can choose the location. I'm just gonna say this location is a New York branch. Then the complaint category, is it a product issue or a shipping delay, right? Let's go to product issue. Or now we can do complaint detail. We can describe the task itself, or we can describe the complaint, the detail, and the product of the complaint. For this example, we just use XYZ product, and the root cause, right? So we can enter the root cause, the finish date, follow-up description, and lastly, we can do the follow-up action, right? And this is one way to do a random universal custom complaint form in a task environment. We also have a couple more task form as well. This was universal customer complaint form. We also have the risk management form, right? Again, under risk management, we can add the field code, field name, title node, entry type, field type, condition appearance, and their status. Let's go two more. We can always do with the industrial freezer checking form, for example, right? We can enter the document name of that form. We can enter the date, the time, the location, the apartment, humidity. We can put the freezer ID number with the freezer temperature, and lastly, we can put signature. For this, I'll just put my name as my signature. Then, if everything is done, we can hit create, and that will update our task form associated with the task name, or if there is any projects. All right, so this is how we can create the forms inside the task. Once we're all done, we can hit create, and that will create our brand new task connected to a project, or creating a individual task. If you want to see all our projects in one, we can do that as well. In order to do that, we have the top left under projects. As you can see, once we click on that, we can see all our projects. So let's just say, let's go example one. Let's go with this one, for example, industrial freezer checking, right? Under here, you can see the daily, weekly, or monthly view. So this is day. We can see weekly or monthly. Let's go back to day. As you can see, under here, we created 8 tasks for 8 shifts. As you can see, let's make this a little bit in order. Here we go. So we have shift 3, shift 2, shift 4, shift 6, 5, 8, and 7. So we created 8 shifts for 8 tasks. So let's go to, actually, I'm gonna hit complete one, and here we go. The shift 1 came up as well. So let's click on shift 1. As you can see, shift 1 is already completed, under this project. And as you can see, name of the task is shift 1, and only participant is currently me, and I make a decision as a complete. And we can also add form 0 as well. Below that, we connected a form for this specific task. So under this form, you can see the document title, date, time, location, the freezer ID number, and lastly, my signature as well. So when I click on save, that task will automatically be complete. So we can do the same thing for shift 2, for example. Let's click on shift 2. And again, you can see the name of the task, when it's created, and it's owned by me again. And below that, I can see all the participants, and I can make a decision, right? Is it complete or not for me, right? And below that, we have the form details, right? I'm gonna have to complete this in order to finish this shift 2. So after inputting all this information, I can click on save, and that will update my shift to 0% to 100%, which is completed. So this is basically how we manage our task inside the specific project. All right, now let's go back to task assigned to me. And this is it. Thank you for listening. Kevin, back to you.
Otto, thank you very much for your demonstration. It was very insightful. Until now, we talk about fundamentals of AS9100, quality management system for aerospace industry, and we have seen quality assurance anywhere software platform to help you comply with requirements of AS9100 digitally in this modern software system. Let's continue our executive webinar session in our flow. In this part of our executive webinar session, I'd like to introduce you Kerr Consulting. Now, Kerr Consulting is Cherry Bekaert, and I'll also introduce you AnyWare Apps on a high level. At Kerr Consulting, we are based in Houston. We are a software publisher and reselling company. One of our passions is defend the orphan core law. So as team Kerr Consulting, we support orphans in the world. And as our mission, as an organization, we like to support and protect the orphans. So that's why we put together Core Lab organization as a core mission of Kerr. As I mentioned earlier, Kerr Consulting is now Cherry Bekaert. Cherry Bekaert founded in 1947. It is one of the top largest assurance, tax, and advisory firms in the US. It has more than 2,500 tax and assurance professionals in the country. And now, together with Kerr Consulting, it's a powerhouse of tax advisory, assurance, and now technology and software offering. As part of the group, now with the new services, business intelligence and data analytics are available, cybersecurity services are available, as well as sales and use. Strategic financing, tax and credits and incentives, advisory services available, as well as outsourced accounting services available in this powerful organization. When we look at the Kerr Consulting organization as a whole, it's a nationwide organization as shown on the map. We have a national team in different parts of the country, and Kerr was originally founded in 1987. Nationwide, now together, Kerr Consulting and Cherry Bekaert, it has more than 2,600 nationwide staff, spanning around 21,000 clients altogether. With the team consists of CPAs, trained specialists, developers, auditors, and advisory team members. In our company, consulting is one of our services, followed by ERP accounting software systems, AnyWare Apps that I'll talk more about in a minute. Also, we have managed services available to help manage your technology infrastructure as well as your cybersecurity needs. And we do develop custom software as well as per your need and organization's requirements. So we have a rich and powerful service portfolio. These are some of our clients. We've been serving small, mid-sized, and large companies. As you can tell on my list here, we have different companies in different sizes, and we are proud to serve these organizations. These companies, they put their trust and their confidence into our group, and they've been using our services and software products on a daily basis. All right, so let's talk about AnyWare Apps a little bit. Well, this month is manufacturing month, so I'm going to have extra highlights for manufacturing-related software parts, software offerings in our AnyWare Apps. AnyWare Apps, this is an actually powerful, modern AI-powered enterprise business software portfolio. With the help of AnyWare Apps, you can digitize, automate, and transform your business processes. That is why we design and release AnyWare Apps, and AnyWare Apps have been in the market almost 10 years now. When we look at AnyWare Apps, there are different enterprise business software options. These software systems are ready for mid-sized and large organizations. We have APS Anywhere. It is advanced production capacity and planning software system designed for manufacturers. Companies in manufacturing field can manage their man, machine, and material resources for manufacturing, as well as address planning bottlenecks and streamline their planning operations digitally. There is asset management anywhere, especially the latest version is AI-powered predictive maintenance management edition. It is actually AI-powered machine health condition monitoring, predictive maintenance, OEE, and energy management system. It helps companies manage their assets, machinery, equipment, buildings, and fleets, also manage their maintenance operations. There is Social CRM Anywhere. It is designed to help companies manage their sales operations as well as marketing activities. Companies can manage their leads, prospects, customer list, as well as sales pipelines with no limit. Also, it is ready to help you perform email blasting, SMS text messaging, and social media management. The powerful AI-powered CRM software system. One of the advantages of Social CRM Anywhere is you pay one price for all the functionalities with no limit. So the more that you use the system, you do not pay more. You pay one price and you use the system with unlimited email blasting, unlimited SMS text messaging, unlimited sales, pipeline management, and unlimited contact management, truly on cloud, and you can use it 24/7 anytime that you like. And finally, there is Quality Assurance Anywhere that we demonstrated earlier. Quality Assurance Anywhere is a quality, risk, audit, compliance, and training management software system. It is designed to help you comply with ISO 9001, AS9100, good manufacturing practices, GMP, SQF, BRC, SOC compliance, ISO 27001 compliance, HIPAA compliance, and other compliance and regulatory requirements can be addressed with the help of Quality Assurance Anywhere. It's a very modern system, as you saw during the demonstration. Everything is permission-based. System is truly cloud-based, and you can access it anytime and anywhere. All of our software systems are permission-based. These are safe and secure systems. They work laptop, on desktop, as well as smart devices such as smartphones, as well as tablets. In addition, all of our AnyWare Apps enterprise software products are integratable. So we are ready to integrate these software systems to your ERP software systems, other business software systems, IoT devices to help you avoid double entry, to automate, digitize, and transform your business processes. So in that sense, we are very confident that all of our AnyWare App products will address your business requirements and expectations. We have clients in many different industries using AnyWare Apps, such as automotive, aerospace, food and beverage, professional services, not-for-profit companies, retail companies, public sector, manufacturers, pulp, paper, and packaging companies, and there are many other companies using AnyWare Apps in different industries. So that's who is Kerr Consulting and Cherry Becker on a high level. You may have more questions, of course, and if you'd like to schedule a special meeting to dive deeper into who we are, what we do, and for us to understand your company's expectations, especially for AnyWare Apps or Sage products, we'll be happy to schedule a meeting to discuss further and dive deeper together with your organization. You can also see our email addresses on this slide. So feel free to send us an email and follow up anytime that you like so we can have a more detailed conversation together. Great. So before we end our executive webinar session, I'd like to invite you to our YouTube channel, AnyWare Apps official YouTube channel. There are many informative videos available about smart manufacturing, digital transformation, cloud technology, and AI. And please visit our YouTube channel and subscribe when you have a chance so that you can be aware of any new videos and you can watch anytime that you like. I'd like to thank you for your time and for your interest, and looking forward to seeing you at our coming executive webinar sessions at AnyWare Apps. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you for attending today's executive webinar session at AnyWare Apps by Kerr Consulting. AnyWare Apps are modern and AI-powered enterprise software products for digital business transformation. To learn more about AnyWare Apps by Kerr Consulting, please visit www.anywareapps.com or www.kerrconsulting.com. Thank you.